Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the two major assignments that we have coming up in the next month or so. First, the body paragraph assignment that builds on your introduction and outline, using that as the basis for the body paragraph. And secondly, the oral presentation assignment that's coming up slightly later in the term. As you know, you've already written an introduction and an outline for an essay. Now, taking the feedback that I've given you on that assignment, you are going to write a body paragraph that could appear in that essay. So remember, over the course of this entire semester, we are building an essay piece by piece. Introduction and outline, then you hand it in, I give you feedback, and then you use that to write a body paragraph. You hand that in, I give you feedback on the body paragraph, and you use both of those assignments and my responses to develop the full essay. In this assignment, we'll be talking about that second part of the assignment, the body paragraph. So the body paragraph is now worth 15% of your final grade. Because of the fact that course expectations have changed, this assignment is worth slightly more. So, instructions. Based on your introduction and essay outline, choose one of your three major ideas. Compose one full body paragraph following each of the steps described below for the idea that you have chosen. So you're just developing a body paragraph using the structure that we described for the essay that you laid out. If you want help with this, I suggest that you look online at the sample essay, the color-coded essay that's been posted on Omnibox. Look at the handout on body paragraphs that I've given you. And also send me sample body paragraphs or set up a meeting with me through Zoom. We can look at the body paragraph together in real time and discuss your ideas. I've given you a detailed list of the pieces of a body paragraph here. First, you need a topic sentence, a clear declaration of the main idea. A good topic sentence is an overall summary of the body paragraph's purpose and intentions. So you want the same main idea that appears in your introduction, but using different language. So do not just copy and paste from your introduction, take the same idea and express it in different words. Next, the first piece of evidence. Make sure that you properly introduce, integrate, and explain the quotation. So incorporate evidence from the text following all three of the steps. Introduce the quotation with its setup sentence, giving context for the author's words, copy the quotation in its entirety, and explain the quotation. How does this quotation help to prove your main idea? So, as an example, if your main idea was, in the case of the first story that we looked at, Ray Bradbury's The Flying Machine, if your main idea was the emperor is a good man because he cares for his people, you would need to give me an example from the story, and then explain how this example shows that he is a good person. You'll have a transition phrase, a transition word, a transition sentence that helps to connect your first example into, part 4, the second piece of evidence. The transition should be a full sentence that builds a connection from the first piece of evidence to the second. If you want some help with this, look at pages 30 to 32 of the Heritage College English Handbook. It provides you with a list of transitional phrases. Then, provide the second piece of evidence, and introduce, integrate, and explain the quotation just as you did the first. Then you have a final concluding sentence, which is a clear summary of the main idea, and a good concluding sentence reminds us of the body paragraph's overall purpose, its main idea, and its intention. The second assignment that I'd like to discuss with you is the oral presentation assignment. The oral presentation assignment is worth 20% of your final grade. Originally, it was going to be a team-based activity where you debated an issue. Here, it's going to be an individual presentation. So the instructions. You must answer the following question in an 8-minute oral presentation on everyday use, the story that we've been studying in this last portion of the course. And that question is, which sister, Maggie or Dee, will lead the more fulfilling life? What you have to do is look at specific examples from the story and then project. You say, I believe that Maggie is going to lead a more successful life, and here's why I believe it. Here's this evidence I can provide you about what her life is like now, what kind of person she is, and how these things will lead her to live a more fulfilling life. The delivery, how we're going to execute this assignment. You can either set up a meeting with me through Zoom. So send me a Mio, and we can say we're both available at this particular time for you to deliver the oral presentation. Or you can record a video using your cell phone and upload it to YouTube and send me a link, or some other means of getting that video to me. Once you've chosen which sister you'll argue in favor of, you must find two main ideas from the story that support your position. Two reasons why you believe she's going to be the more successful, or the sister that's going to lead the more fulfilling life. Why, based on what you've read in the story, will your character, Maggie or Dee, go on to live a more successful life? The presentation structure. You can think of the presentation as something very similar to an essay. So in an essay, you have your introduction, where you lay out your main ideas and your argument. And then you have body paragraphs that develop those main ideas and prove your thesis. Here, you have a short introduction where you discuss your main ideas and tell me at the end of that introduction, here's the sister who's going to live the more fulfilling life. Then you have 2 3-minute segments where you describe main ideas. Here's one reason she's going to live a more successful life, and here's the evidence from the story that proves that idea. And then you have another main idea, and you develop it in the same way for another 3 minutes. The opening statement, the introduction, essentially, of your oral presentation. Define your terms. You might have to tell your audience, me, what it means to live a successful life, because we all have different ideas about what a successful life actually is. So, define your terms. What does it mean to live a successful life? And once you've established that, you can lead into this idea of here's why she's going to lead a more successful life. List your 2 main ideas, the 2 reasons you believe your character will lead a more successful life, and state your thesis. This character, Maggie, or Dee, will live a more successful life. Main idea 1, 3 minutes. Restate your first main idea, give an example, a quotation from the story, analyze the quotation to show how it proves your main idea, give a second example or quotation from the story, and analyze the quotation to show how it proves your main idea. In other words, the structure of your argument for your first main idea is almost exactly the same as an essay, or it's almost exactly the same as an essay body paragraph. And then main idea 2 follows the same structure. If you have questions about either of these assignments, please contact me. I would be happy to answer them.